Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Wakarkadash. Double honors to the elders for preaching his word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. Salakia. And I say shalom to you Akim out there. And double honors to the elders for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. I say shalom. And this is a news article, was recently from NBCnews.com, from MSNBC, MSN.com. Try to rephrase that, Salakia. And this was published by Riff Sanchez and Dariana Mayer and Eric Engel. 4 hours ago, been published by them, and it reads: Ukraine warns Putin has amassed troops for a major and imminent offense. And I believe I was scrolling down a news article I said about 2 or 3 minutes ago. Putin stated that he was going to have more equipped and more deployment of troops. It's going to be more than that. And then he claimed victory. He had a speech recently. And now you have this warning right here of Ukraine warns Putin has amassed troops for a major and imminent offense. Right, and this is the 1 year anniversary of the invasion of Ukraine, which Russia still look at it as a special mission operation of the invasion of Ukraine, as the war of Ukraine continues on throughout the whole region in that area. And it reads, Kyiv, Ukraine. A Russian invasion Ukraine nears the 1 year mark. Kyiv is sounding an increasingly urgent warning. Vladimir Putin is preparing for a major offense. And it says, Ukraine officials said that they fear that Russia's military is regrouping and preparing for an imminent attack designed to turn the tide of war in Moscow's favor. It ranks bolstering about hundreds of thousands conscript called-ups last fall, along with the reserve troops as well too. It says we should understand that the threat of a new and another offense will remain until we defeat Russia. Of Yuri Sak, a senior defense minister official, told NBC News in an interview Thursday. A spring offense has been predicted by the Western officials and analysts, with the Kremlin eager to seize the initiative after a grinding winter that was preceded by months of battlefield setbacks and domestic criticism. But leaders in Kyiv now said that Russia has embraced a large force ready to attack soon in the run-up to the February 24th anniversary. And it says, speaking to French media on Wednesday, Defense Minister Oskli Rizikova said Russia has 500,000 troops ready for an assault in the coming weeks, nearly double the number announced he was mobilizing in September. It says officially they announced 300,000, but when we see the troops as the border, according to assessments, it is much more, he said. Ukraine officials have been issuing growing warnings, but Reskinliskov, if I pronounce his name right, comments are the most detailed description yet of what Kyiv seen as an imminent threat. Reskinlov who was in Paris to press the French government for weapons, said was likely to attack from more east or the south. And it says in the east, Ukraine commanders facing the Angelin's choice of whether to withdraw from the city of Bakhmut or hold their position despite pushing losses and the growing risk of enrichment, encirclement in a bitter fight that has taken a symbolic as well as a strategic importance as their main force concentrated in the east. We do expect them to begin an offense there, perhaps around Bukhara, Sak said. President Vladimir Zelensky of Ukraine offered a similar assessment in his nightly video address. The situation had become tougher in the areas, Zelensky said. The enemy is trying to achieve at least somehow to show that Russia has some chances of the anniversary of the invasion, he added. In the south, Russian forces are relayed along with the eastern bank of the Dnipro River as within striking distance of the crucial city of Kherson. The region capital was the first major city to fall to Russian troops in the early days of the war, but they were forced into an embarrassing retreat in November. Most defensible positions over the river. Andriy Yermak, Zelensky chief of staff, said Thursday he briefed Jake Sullivan, the U.S. National Security Advisor, and General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, about the threats of a new offense. There was an exchange of views regarding the possible actions of the enemy in the near future, Yermak said on Twitter. In the weeks before Russia's full-scale invasion, U.S. declassified and made public intelligence showing the scale of Putin's military buildup on Ukraine's border. So far, the U.S. has not publicly released intelligence about a possible new offense. Russian military plans are a close guided security. But Sergei Lavrov, Russia's foreign minister, said his diplomats would try to compete with overshadowing the pro-Ukraine public events in Western cities on the anniversary of the war. Our diplomats will do anything to ensure that any mayhem planned for the anniversary of a special military operation at the end of February in New York and elsewhere. The West is now actively planning it along with Kyrie regime. So these events not the only ones to grab the international community's attention, Lavrov said Thursday. Amid the different scenarios for a Russian attack, one consensus has emerged. It appears unlikely that Russia will strike from Belarus and make another attempt to seize Kyiv. The Institute for Studies of War, a Washington-based think tank, said early this week that an imminent Russian offense in the coming months is most likely course of action, though its latest daily brief assessed that a Russian invasion from Belarus is exceedingly unlikely. The preceding threat is Kyiv had allowed growing calm to settle over the capital. The city is being targeted by Russian missiles on a grimy, regular cycle, meaning air defense systems are nested discreetly near government buildings in the city center. In many areas, electricity is still emitted as Moscow military targets the power grid. But tensions as far from where it was 11 months ago when Russian forces were at the edge of the city and appeared poised to storm the presidential palace. Restaurants are open, supermarket shelves are full, and dog walkers taking their pets for walks in the city's snowy parks. On a recent morning, Nazir Balan, a 20-year-old veterinarian student, was scrolling near a city museum when he was in Kyiv to see his girlfriend. Van tells NBC he was worried about a new Russian offense, but not in Kyiv. And despite the bitter cold looming conflict, he smiled and expressed hope for his country's future. This country is very beautiful. It's the nicest country ever during the war, he said. Every history has many examples when people have hard times, but also good times. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 9. And it reads, "But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be ye not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by." Right, so we're seeing this increase of wars and commotions of wars, especially with the current Russia-Ukraine war situation, which Russia called it a special military operation war in Ukraine. And now you have this warning from Ukraine saying that Putin might do another major offense within the next couple of weeks as the 1 year anniversary of the invasion of Ukraine. So yeah, these rumors of wars are definitely heating up, and it's going to continue to increase of heating up with the hostility between the nations and different kingdoms. Wars and commotions of wars are definitely increasing. So with that, hopefully this sit-down lesson was edifying of this recent news article from NBC News, MSN, published about 4 hours ago. As it stated, Ukraine warns Putin has amassed troops for a major and imminent offense as the wars and rumors of wars are heating up between the nations. Two different nations, I meant to say Slovakia. So with that, once again, I hope this lesson was edifying. I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakarkadash. Double honors to the elders for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom.